Pretty recently, my lawyer friend indulged me with another one of his stories. As previously, I have conveyed the fact that my lawyer friend tends to befriend some of his more troublesome clients. I think that it's because of his fatherly instincts taking over, since his own children have grown up and moved on in their lives. This particular friendship in today's story is a bit more complicated though, since this story involves two of his clients. One of those clients was a woman named Jenny, whom the lawyer briefly dated. Jenny was somewhat of a hot mess, given some of her life choices and bad habits. Due to her faster, looser lifestyle, the lawyer didn't really jive with her so well. After the split with the lawyer, Jenny began to date another one of the lawyer's clients, and he was also staying at the motel. So, I think it's safe to infer that he also knew and understood Jenny's lifestyle choices. However, he was quite depressed at that time, so he appreciated Jenny's upbeat energy and speedy life. Despite being almost total opposites, the pair quickly became inseparable. And for about 1 year, the young couple precariously entertained what would eventually become a pretty tumultuous relationship. Of all of its fire and ice, the relationship provided a seemingly perfect breeding ground for the young couple to become codependent on one another. For a lot of the time all that was going on, the lawyer heard all about it, and as a result of me also being a good friend of his, I heard about it as well. The more the lawyer and I heard, the more convinced we were that it was indeed a toxic relationship. The couple seemed to have knockdown drag-out fights, which started to come more and more frequently. After about 1 year together, the fights and arguments started to progress from bad to way worse. On one of these particularly terrible nights, Jenny and her boyfriend got into a particularly terrible argument. The police were called out to it initially, but by the time they arrived, Jenny's boyfriend had already taken off. Apparently he took their shared Honda car and just drove. As he drove, Jenny called and texted him angrily and excessively. She continued her angry tirade for hours into the night. Eventually though, exhausted both emotionally and physically from crying out of anger, Jenny fell asleep. As the next day began, it unfortunately brought devastating news with it. The lawyer was the first to receive the terrible news. He then informed Jenny, and she immediately broke down completely. For the previous night had encapsulated truly horrific events. Jenny's boyfriend had their Honda car that previous night, along with a generator. He then placed the generator in the front seat with him. After that, he took to duct taping a section of a garden hose to the tailpipe of the vehicle. After he finished with all that, he sealed himself in the vehicle and started it along with the generator, then he awaited his demise. Jenny, the lawyer, and I were all devastated by that loss. The victim, the new love of Jenny's life, didn't have any family left. It is quite tragic that drugs and a love-fueled rage can have such a permanent and devastating effect on not only their lives, but also the lives of the people around them.